What's happening, Internet fam? I haven't posted in a while about my ongoing custody battle with Jackleen Grace Garcia, the mother of my two children. But basically, I haven't been able to talk to my children at all since October. She got the move away order from Hawaii back to San Diego, and since then, she hasn't let me talk to the kids at all. No email, no video chat, no ability to send presents, no confirmation of that any of the letters that I sent that they received or were able to read them. Nothing at all. So once again, I'm posting this online so that eventually Everett and Grace can find them online and understand what happened and why they didn't get to talk to their dad again for another 6 months. Big thick stack of paperwork again that I'll be filing again. It's a post decree relief, basically saying, she won't let me talk to the kids again. That's, I know this sounds like a broken record. It's been 6 years now. This is a pretty vindictive, vicious person who's going to continue to abuse her own children for 6 years with no malfeasance whatsoever on the part of me or the kids that I know of. And yet she continues to abuse them and me in this horrific fashion. Once again, I'm advocating for a complete and total redo of our family court system. The fact that our family court system does not have a jury of peers shows that it's unconstitutional, immoral, and illegal. Right, just right off the bat, there should be a jury of your peers there to tell you that you can't see your kids for some reason if they're going to make that determination, which they seem to make that determination very often. I'm sending a highlight of the current court order. I'm sending a copy of the entire court order. I'm also sending a transcript of the last 6 months of talking parents, of me begging, cajoling, threatening, doing everything that I can to ensure that she just follows the court order and lets me talk to my children. The message that's not part of this today is the one that I sent today, along with all these attachments, serving her via the Talking Parents app, because I don't have a physical address, so I don't know how else I can serve her. As a result of you continuing to violate court orders, I am forced to file against you in court again. How would you like to be served? Can I email you the relevant documents, or do you want a copy mailed to your whore mother and cuck father's house? Let me know. Meanwhile, I will attach them here to show that I have attempted service. Of course, you could just agree to let the kids talk to their dad like a rational human being. Instead, I'm all for that option, as I have been for 6 years now. Heard you finally got a job. Good for you. Now imagine if you were also not actively abusing 2 of your 3 kids. What a stand-up member of society you could be. Pretty snarky, and obviously I'm being facetious. There's no possible way, after 6 years of abusing her own children in this horrific manner. And once again, parental alienation is one of the most severe forms of abuse a parent can do to their child. And she's been engaging that for 6 years. So I'm just keeping a record of it. While I file it, I'm also going to post this online. I'm going to share it on YouTube, everywhere else. I'm going to continue to share this online so that Everett and Grace can see what happened to them, what happened to their dad, and who's to blame here. And it's Jackleen Grace Garcia. She's been abusing her own children and her ex-husband for 6 years. And again, I did nothing to this woman. I supported her during our marriage. I completely took care of her in every way during our marriage, as I did the kids. I have no drug or alcohol issue. I have no history of violence. I have no criminal history. I am completely an innocent victim here. The only thing that I did to Mrs. Garcia that caused all of this is I filed for divorce, and I tried to get some kind of custody of my children. That's it. Filing for divorce and trying to get custody of the children resulted in all of this. She claims that I tried to kidnap them, but that's ridiculous. I had an ex parte order from the court in Oregon, which later was struck down. But nevertheless, when I took the kids, I had the ex parte order. So once again, there's no justification for any of this. And while I had the kids in my care, by the way, I made sure that she had a video chat every single day. And now she has custody of the kids, and she hasn't let me talk to them in 6 months. Again, this is not the first time she hasn't let me talk to them for 6 months. This is the 4th time now that she's violated court orders and not allowed me to have any kind of contact with the children at all for 6 months. Every time she gets the move away order, she does this. She married a guy in the Navy. She went from one guy in the Navy to another guy in the Navy to another guy in the Navy until she found one who was desperate enough to get out of the barracks to marry her. Foolish on your part, Mr. Garcia. Very foolish on your part. You're going to be in the same situation I'm going to be in eventually, except, you're in the Navy, so, you're dumber than I am. Full stop. How's your career going, Mr. Garcia? Are you out in the middle of the ocean somewhere, trying to avoid being nuked by Russia? Because it's coming, buddy. I don't know what else to say about any of this. I'm just keeping a record of this so that my kids can Google search me and find it. And they can know exactly what occurred to them. If my kids Google Thornton and Jackleen Grace Garcia, they will be brought straight to this video, and they will know that I've been fighting in their best interests legally for 6 years in a corrupt and unconstitutional court system that has absolutely no concern for the well-being of children, for the well-being of parents, or for the well-being of the fabric of society, obviously, because one of the reasons we have so much drug abuse, alcohol abuse, domestic violence, crime, etc., is because of how many children grow up without their dads, because child support is incentivized by the court system so that mothers don't have to work. They can sit on their fat asses doing drugs, drinking, watching television, and collect a paycheck from some poor sap who is dumb enough to inseminate her. That dumb sap, in this case, being me. So that's the situation that we're in 2022 in the United States of America. I'm willing to challenge anybody to a debate on any of these topics at any time. So far, I've had no takers because I think most of us realize that is the situation we're in. And that's why our society is so toxic and disgusting. I'm posting this to YouTube. I'm posting it to BitChute. I'm posting it to Rumble now. I would be posting, I'm going to post it to Instagram too. I would be posting it to Twitter, but I've been kicked off Twitter for pointing out that vaccines are incredibly dangerous. All vaccines, not just the COVID vaccine, but all of them. Which is, you can look at the data yourself, but I actually have studied the data. I was the COVID-19 Surge Response Logistics Coordinator for the entire state of Hawaii at the Department of Health. I read all of the clinical trials for the AstraZeneca shot in particular. I'm not going to put too much of this on this video because I don't want to get censored, as I have been on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. But I am aware of the data. I have looked at the data. If you have questions about that, hit me up. But yeah, Jackleen Grace Garcia, I'll see you in court again. I know that's the only time you have to see your ex-husband who you're clearly still totally obsessed with, which is why you continue to abuse our children 6 years later. I can't think of another motive you have, but I'm sorry, I'm never, ever going to think of you as anything but absolute, abject, and total and complete trash for abusing your children in this manner for 6 years. You are trash, period. There's no way that you can excuse your behavior at this point. 6 years of extreme parental alienation. It's just, I would say it's mind-boggling, but it happens to everybody. It happens to men and women because we have an unconstitutional family court that doesn't have a jury of your peers. You're guilty until proven innocent. They'll drop a temporary restraining order on you with no evidence whatsoever. They'll put a permanent restraining order on you with no evidence ever. Or a 5-year one. That's what they did to me. 5-year restraining order from my own children based on Facebook memes. You could say that's not true, whatever. You can try to dissuade me of the facts, but I have the facts. I've been documenting them for 6 years, including in courthouses in Oregon, California, San Diego, that's California, Hawaii. Yeah, this is just, and this is what kind of trash marries an enlisted man after already having 2 kids with somebody else. So for you enlisted men, dating single mothers because you don't have better options because you're in the service, which is a bad life choice across the board, financially, physically, etc., etc. There is no justification at this point for joining any of the armed services except for you're young and dumb, which is why they specifically target 18-year-olds. Anyway, just putting all this as public record. I don't know what else to say. If you have advice, thoughts, ideas, questions, concerns, let me know. I will pay you a lot of money if you help me get custody of my children. A lot of money, instantly, if you help me get some kind of custody of my children. I'm not going to pay any more lawyers, anything ever. I'm talking about a real way to get some kind of custody of my children. I put a bounty on before. She called the cops on me, claiming that my bounty was like somehow threatening her physically. That was not. It was a legal bounty, a bounty for legal help in the legal system. That's what this is as well. It's another bounty, but again, it's a legal bounty for legal help because I've been in the court system for 6 years with no access to my children, again for 6 months, for the 4th time now in the last 6 years. Yeah. Do you want a cherry $1963 Dart? Approximate value $15,000? I'll just give it to you. I'll just give you the keys to the car, the title to the car, everything instantly if you get me some kind of custody of my kids. And that's Dart on delivery. I actually need to have some kind of custody of my children first. And then boom, you get a $15,000 car. Instantly. Instantly. So there it is again. Another offer out to the universe. Anybody who wants a really cool classic car that they can have totally gratis, totally insured, registered, great shape, nothing's really wrong with it significantly. It's a 50-year-old car, so there's this and that you might have to do. But I mean, honestly, it's in great shape. I've restored almost everything on it. I have all the records for that as well, too. So yeah, if you want a really cool classic car, instantly get me some kind of custody of my kids, and it's yours. I've been battling in court for 6 years. I'm not a lawyer. I have no respect for lawyers. I have no respect for our legal system. It's completely immoral, unethical. It's completely rigged. It's who you know, not what you know. That's how we got in this situation. There was a judge in San Diego who's personal friends with her dad, Judge Jim Wood, a corrupt judge, personal friends with Matt Gehrisch, who's one of the biggest scumbags I've ever met in my entire life, Matt Gehrisch. You and all 3 of your whore daughters and your whore wife disgust me beyond all measure. And I want that to be public record so that my children know that their dad is a person of ethics, conscience, basic human decency, which none of you in the Gehrisch family have, obviously. Except for maybe Jenny. I don't know. I feel bad for Jenny. Jenny's the middle sister. She gets picked on the most by the other 2 sisters and the parents. It's really kind of sad, but anyway, yeah. Internet fam, this is a record of what has gone on for 6 years. I'm posting this for Everett and Grace's benefit in case eventually Mrs. Garcia gets tired of this ongoing legal fracas and just pays somebody to have me offed. I'm surprised she hasn't paid to have me offed already. That's one of the reasons I live in a location where I do not disclose where I am. It's one of the reasons why I don't post any videos or pictures of me on social media anymore. Because I know at some point Mrs. Garcia is going to realize it's in her financial interest to just kill me. Because otherwise I'm going to go to court again and again and again and again until Everett and Grace are 18. Or younger and they just come see me on their own. Whichever and Grace, if you do that, you will have anything you want in this life. Anything. Whatever you want to eat, whatever kind of car you need, whatever kind of clothing you need. Your dad will provide literally anything that you want. Just reach out to your dad because I've tried everything in the legal system and your mom and all of her corrupt cronies, Jim Wood, parents, it's lawyers, Fisher, that greasy lawyer in San Diego. Not that he had to do any work. I mean, the judge was good friends with her dad. He didn't have to do a damn thing. Anyway, I'm going to post this to Instagram, Facebook, BitChute, Rumble, everywhere else. Love you, Internet fam. Just keeping a record for Everett and Grace so they can know that their dad was still trying 6 years later to be in their lives. For their best interest. More than for my own. But it's also for my own. And for my parents and everybody else. It's a horrible, horrible form of abuse. All right, thanks, Internet fam. Love you all.